Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Virgo gang in mid-February? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in mid-February. What is the vibe? What do we got going on for our good friends? Please and thank you. There we go. Nice and quick. Okay, cool. So this card usually has a dual meaning to me. One, which is like pretty loose and positive and feels pretty good. But there are also aspects of control or someone pulling the strings. So that could be something we want to watch out for. There are some embedded warnings when we see this card show up. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see here, as I pull the card over, we have this jester, and it seems to be like he's putting on a little puppet show. He's playing with the puppets. He's like making them dance. So of course, I always think that this could be fun. So for a small portion of Virgos, if things have been serious or things have been monotonous or you've been laying low, Spirit could be wanting you to have fun, enjoy yourself, cut loose a little bit, which can be a really nice message. But when we get to the warning aspect of this card, it can be concerning because obviously, I'm sure you all know about when someone's pulling the strings. So whether there's a situation where it's like you might need to pull on the strings a little further, hopefully this isn't somebody pulling strings from behind the scenes. I don't want to get into like manipulation and stuff like that. But when we see a puppeteer and puppets, it's like, all right, someone else is calling the shots, or there's something else involved here. Feels a little Seven of Swords to me. So there could be a warning when this card shows up. But again, it's also lighthearted. So I guess you take whatever resonates most with you. For some of you, if you feel like you need a vacation or to at least cut loose, that could simply be it. But just watch out for really seeing who's got say or sway or controlling the situation. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Virgo gang. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Sudden Stop. So it's like the energy was moving, and then it's like, I'm stomping on the brakes. So there could be various situations where either you're slowing it down, you need to slow it down. Hopefully it's not something that stalls out on you. But that was the big vibe I was picking up, either needing to put something to a halt or just something getting to that point. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Virgo friends. What is happening in mid-February? What do we got for Virgo, please? What is going on? There we go. Thank you. Okay. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, position number 1. That doesn't tank the whole reading. Keep that in mind. And this could be a variety of different things, but we always want to keep an eye on that card when it pops out. Let's get a couple more here. I don't want to speak till we have a bigger picture. Okay, Knight of Swords, right? I mean, that's a little aggressive when I see this card. So let's get one more out here. That could also represent a person you're connected to as well. It's a little pushy. Let's get one more. What do we have here for Virgo? Please. Thank you. Okay. So Page of Cups, there's a lot of people showing up in the energy. Okay, and I know it's only 2 right now, but to me, it just feels like there's a lot of people in the energy for whatever reason. So if you're an individual that's very sensitive to energies, when I see a lot of people, just make sure you don't get overwhelmed in this time, because the energy could be a little on edge. Now let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, we have a nice mixture of elements. I usually like it when there's a mixture of elements. I feel like it's important to show us how the energy is moving. We have earth, steady, It's one of your power elements. Usually earth cards resonate better for Virgos. We have air, which is very rapid, very fast moving. That one could be a little difficult for you. And then we have the Page of Cups right there with the water, which is internal. So there's a lot of internal energy, internal intensity. We have other people showing up here. So it's like we have a whole smorgasbord of different energies showing up. So just know that if you're sensitive, you might start feeling a little on edge, because that's kind of how it's making me feel initially. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we're starting with the Five of Pentacles. And as you can see there, as I pull it away, it's not the nicest piece of imagery. We have these two people. They're out in the cold, right? Now, this card, I'll give you the positives and challenges of it. The positives is that this is not a final result. This, like, yeah, it might be something difficult. It could be a problem or a situation of some kind, but it's not a finality where it's like, no, there's still more to come. This is only part way through a journey. So for a lot of you, it could just be a bump in the road or just a misstep or a mishap when we see this, okay? In the challenge, this could be someone that's either feeling isolated, feeling lonely, missing another person. It could also represent abandonment issues. So it is cold. Now, that's more along the interpersonal relationship aspect. When we're talking about money, Spirit could be saying like, hey, you might want to stash a few pentacles for a rainy day. So watch out for any funky things in regards to like finance, investments, stuff like that, or even work situations when this is here. Hopefully you're not in any tense work environments or something like that. We'll touch base on that again when we clarify, because that'll give us a more of a broad view of what this energy could be. But moving to the center is when we start getting into the court cards. We have the Knight of Swords right here, big air sign energy. So whether it's a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if you're not connected to any of those, knights are talkers, right? They're messengers, very similar to the Page, which we'll talk about in a moment. But this is a huge card of action. And out of all the knights, the Knight of Swords is the fastest. So it's zipping, it's going, it's moving. So it's interesting that last week we had this energy and energy like stopping. This is the complete and total opposite, where this one's like zipping all around. It's on the go. It's laser focus. So for some Virgos, there could be a situation or something that you have laser focus on right now where it's taking up a lot of your mind. Could be someone laser focused on you, but this is something that happens quickly. So hopefully we're going from a little bit of an issue or a problem here into a resolution. That would be best case scenario. There's a lot of determination with this card. In its challenge, it can be pushy, it can be aggressive, it can be confrontational, it could represent someone that's angry, mad, upset. So we'll have to see, especially here in the front, there's some hard feelings. Okay? And for some of you, it might just even be a talk. Like very simple. We don't always have to overcomplicate the energy. Now, moving to the back end, as we get this Knight of Swords tucked back right there in the middle, we have a much softer vibe, a much more easy flowing energy. We have the Page of Cups. Now, you might be connected to a water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. If that's not the case, pages represent youth. They're a great card of potential, new things, fresh starts. So I always like to see a page because it tells me, like, all right, there's some potential in the energy for something more. That's a good thing. Now, pages, aside from being students and messengers, they do represent the suit they're in. And when it comes to the water, it's emotional expression, it's emotional offers, getting something off your chest. So especially with the Page and the Knight, this could be talking back and forth, people chit-chatting or having some sort of emotional sharing of some sort. So maybe you need to get something off your chest, maybe someone you're connected to needs to. We'll just have to see when we get into the clarifiers. Now, the rough thing about this Page of Cups, next to this Knight, this aggressive, fast-moving Knight, this page can sometimes be a little bashful. And that's another thing when it comes to pages, the challenge of them. Yeah, it could be a shy, bashful type of energy, but at the same time, it could be something that never fully gets off the ground. Okay, so when we see like the Five of Pentacles, when we see the Page of Cups, there could potentially be a lot of questioning happening, like what if? Again, a lot of what ifs. So we're definitely going to need to look into this further. So we're going to get that page tucked in right there. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Virgo, gang? Please, what is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Pentacles. Let's see what's up with that. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this Five of Pentacles out. Really want to get to the court cards too. Why is the 5 here? Thank you. Okay. Oh, this is not giving me the nicest feeling, to be honest with you. Now, for a portion of you, this could be like an unexpected or a surprising problem, because when I see the 7 of Swords in reverse, it's something being revealed. And I did get a sentence that ran through my head, and it's like, I wish I didn't even know. Like, I might be better off if I didn't even know about that or hear about that. So that could be very specific for some of you. Okay. I'm not a big fan of this energy here on the front. Now, I'm going to hope that it solves itself as we move in and all these other energies join the mix. But the 7 of Swords, even in reverse, it could represent something that's in the shadows, something we don't quite see, something that's just out of our periphery. So when I see the 7 of Swords in reverse with the 5 of Pentacles, this could be Spirit warning you, telling you to be vigilant, keep your eyes on something. There could be a situation where it's like, just keep your eyes open, keep your eyes on things, because when the 7 of Swords flips in reverse, it's like the unexpected becoming known, or something just popping up. So that's why I'm saying when I see the 5 of Pentacles in this, it's either an unexpected or a surprising problem, or something affecting you more than you thought it would. Okay, and I keep getting this message. It's like I might have been better off if I didn't even know that. It's like giving me a frog in my throat too. So I'm not a fan of this energy. Listen, you know, I'm an optimistic reader. I'm always going to tell you how these cards honestly make me feel. And I'd like to move on from this. Let's keep going over to the Knight of Swords. We'll talk about that more during the recap, though. We'll circle back. Let's see why the Knight of Swords is here. What's going on? Guides and spirits. What's going on with the Knight of Swords? Another court card. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. That's one of your power cards here. You might get stirred into action, and you might be a lot more reactionary than you normally are in this time, Virgo. And listen, know tons of beautiful Virgos and a lot of people with Virgo placements in my personal life. I know they're a very steady, reliable type of sign. I always felt like Virgos could see a few steps ahead usually. But when I see the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, yes, that could be good. It's like, you know, I'm doing what I have to do to make this right or fix this or attack this issue. So if there is something that pops up, I think you're going to take the right actions to get everything where it needs to be. But this is also giving me a very reactionary vibe. So whether it's something where you respond to it quick, this could be Spirit telling you like, listen, Virgo, if something pops up, jump on it quick. Don't let it go. Don't let it linger. Like if you see an issue, say something, do something. Like you need to get on this fast, right? I don't know why that's showing up here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is usually very grounded. Okay, she's chilling. She's abundant, lots of blessings. And one of your power cards, remember, it's not gender specific, but there's like so many people here. So for some of you, I'm not sure if this is a group situation. For a portion of you, hopefully this energy can be very helpful, where Spirit's saying like, hey, if something does pop up, maybe you could get some people to assist you with something. But when I see your card under the Knight of Swords, it's either telling me you're going to be a little more aggressive and reactionary than you normally are, or that's how you need to be. Okay, so if something does pop up, it's like, yeah, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's unsavory, it's like you got to attack it quick. All right, so like don't let it linger. So there could be something coming up like we saw here in the front. Don't let it linger. Let's keep moving over to the Knight of Cups. Let's see what's up with that. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So what is happening here with my lovely Virgo friends? Why is that Knight of Cups? Not Knight of Cups, Page of Cups here. Why is he in the mix? Thank you. Page of Wands. So many people. So many people here. So we have the whole entire zodiac shown for you now. Say we have fire, we have water, we have air, we have earth. It's all here for you. And to me, this does feel like a strong support. So regardless of what it is that's shown up here, and listen, I know not everybody in the world is lucky enough to have a strong support structure. So if that's not the case, if you don't have a huge support structure, this could just represent the energetic sensitivity that you could be feeling. So if you're feeling a little off and you can't really explain why, or you're feeling a little anxious or tense and you can't really explain why, it's like you're picking up a lot of outside energy, whether you realize it or you don't. Now, the Page of Wands is very similar to the Page of Cups. They're both speakers, they're both talkers, and this does feel like a bit of an advice. So for some of you, whether it's you giving advice or receiving it, there are ways for you to attack something and get a little bit of guidance, because I do feel if this is you, there's a lot of people around you that could support you. So whether this is your current support structure or it's just a group dynamic, mileage may vary depending on what your situation is. But when I see the Page of Cups, Page of Wands, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of people, and this could be a good thing for you because it's like you're not alone in this. Okay, so you could be going through something where a lot of people are experiencing the same thing. There's like a little camaraderie here. Notice like we have all the people, they're off to this side, and they're all dealing with a similar thing. So very peculiar. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So yours definitely one of the more unique ones this week, Virgo. But if you kindly look here in the box, position number 1, we started with the 5 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords in reverse. And again, I want to say there is some sort of solace here telling me it's like, all right, but you're not alone in this, or you're not going through something alone, because this could be feelings of isolation here in the front. But when I see that alignment together, it's either an unexpected problem or surprising problem or situation popping up. And it's something that probably shouldn't be ignored, because moving to the center, we have the Knight of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So whether you're more reactionary or a little more aggressive than you normally are, or this is Spirit telling you to attack something quick, like get on this, like don't delay this. Like you see the issue, solve the issue. So like jump on something quick if it does pop up. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So there's a lot of advice. There's a lot of energetic support. I did say for some of you in the challenge, you might just be picking up the energies of those around you. This could be group dynamics as well. But I like the camaraderie because it tells me even if you do feel like you're going through something alone, there's a lot of people that are going through a similar thing. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Like you're not alone, which is a nice, reassuring type of energy. But let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They can be a good thing. Get your one. Oh, yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got here for Virgo? Thank you. All right, cool. Thanks. 7 of Wands, and I feel like this really fits the bill for what I was seeing here in the center. Okay, now remember, shadow cards generally represent something we need to pay attention to, or Spirit's trying to make us aware of it. And the 7 of Wands is a card of determination. That's a good aspect of it, but it can also be very confrontational and aggressive. So when we saw this energy here in the center of being very reactionary or like getting on top of something real quick, the 7 of Wands does reiterate that, okay? So if you're the type of person where you blow your top quickly, maybe Spirit's asking you to just tone it back a little bit. But if that's not the case and you're usually chill, there could be something coming up where it's like, no, you need to get on top of it quick. Like, don't ignore it. Okay, that's just the big energy I'm picking up here on the back end. Right. And again, with the 7 of Wands, it could also just represent a test. Again, this isn't the end of the story. That's not an end of a journey. It's like a rough patch, if that makes sense. So we're going to put that down right there, my beautiful Virgo friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.